schedule, and it's our first time, so I don't have any more alone time, which is fine. I love hanging out with my boyfriend, but when I had my days off and he was working, that's when I would do my videos. I don't even like doing anything for my videos in front of him. Like, I don't like watching my videos in front of him. I don't like editing my videos in front of him, so this is an adjustment right now, but he's actually sleeping, so kind of works out. Today I'm going to be talking about Kyron Horman. I've seen this case covered by Kendall Rae and she goes over it really good. I came across it again when somebody from a Facebook page that I follow had emailed me and sent me this suggestion. It looked like in the email that they wanted me to do an update, but I didn't find anything that Kendall Rae didn't already cover. So what I'm gonna do on this video is not gonna be much of an update because it's still considered to be an ongoing case. What I did actually is I just looked at all the videos I could about Kyron Horman to see if anybody else had more information other than what Kendall had already talked about. And then I also just did some online research, in which I did find a little bit more. So Kyron Richard Horman was born September 9, 2002 in Portland, Oregon to Desiree Young and Kane Horman. Desiree and Kane had divorced 8 months into her pregnancy with Kyron. It was said that Kane was having an affair while he was with Desiree. He was having an affair with Terri, who later becomes Kyron's stepmother. Kind of sound familiar? Kind of sounds like Leticia Stout. If you guys ever watched my video, I talk about that. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about Gannon, who went missing. His mother is also accused of his disappearance and his death, actually. So yeah, anyways, if you guys don't know about it, just go ahead and check out my video on it or just look it up. Anyways, it sounds familiar, right? The dad was having an affair, and then later that affair becomes a marriage, and the stepmother unfortunately does something terrible to their kid. It's kind of weird how a lot of cases are sounding exactly like that. Anyway, the two have been granted shared custody over Kyron until 2004 when Desiree was diagnosed with kidney failure. But Desiree remained very active in Kyron's life. In 2007, Kane married Terri, the one he was having an affair with. In December 2008, 1 year later, Terri gave birth to their daughter, Kiara. So that's the background story. Kyron is living with his biological dad and his stepmother, Terri. His biological mom is still very active, but that's where we're at right now. So on June 4, 2010, Kyron was taken to his school fair by his stepmother, Terri. She accompanied him at this science fair. Terri stated that she left Kyron's school at around 8:45 a.m. She last seen Kyron walking to his class. Apparently she was only able to see the back of his head. However, even though Terri claims that she seen Kyron walking to his class, he was marked absent that day and he wasn't seen in class. So this is Terri's timeline according to her. After she left the elementary school at 8:45 a.m., she had went to 2 different Fred Meyer grocery stores. If you don't know what Fred Meyer's is, it's like King Soopers. She went to 2 different Fred Meyer stores because she was picking up a subscription for her daughter who had an earache. From 10 a.m. to 11:39 a.m. I don't know why it's so specific to 11:39, but that's what it says. Terri stated that she was driving around to soothe her baby's earache. I've seen online that during this time of her driving around trying to soothe her baby's earache, that she had received a phone call. They never confirmed if she received a phone call or who the phone call was from. After that, Terri claims that she had went to the gym till about 12:40. Where the baby went, I don't know. I never found that in my research. Maybe it doesn't matter, maybe she's with a babysitter, but I'm curious, where's the kid? By 1:21 p.m., she had arrived home and started posting pictures of Kyron at the science fair on Facebook. So I can never find where and when the dad came home from work, but anyways, at 3:30 p.m., Terri, her husband Kane, and their daughter Kiara went to the bus stop to meet up with Kyron. The bus driver told them that Kyron had never boarded the bus and that they should probably call us and talk to them about his whereabouts. So Terri did, just to be informed by the secretary that they had also marked Kyron as absent and hadn't seen him since the science fair. So this is what confuses me the most, because there's a lot of different stories on how this plays out, but the school never called Kyron's parents to let them know that he was marked absent. But I did also see that Terri had made him a doctor's appointment that day, but they didn't attend that doctor's appointment. So why isn't this in question about his doctor's appointment and why he didn't make it, and why did she make the doctor's appointment, and why did she call the school if she already knew that Kyron was going to be missing that day because of the doctor's appointment, right? I'd also read that she had informed the school that she even made that doctor's appointment, and that is the reason why that the school didn't contact her. So, like, what's going on? Anyways, so after the secretary had found out this news, she called 911. That is her timeline and her story that she had told investigators at first. So if you were just told that part of the story, do you think she did it? I think she did. Just from that part, because she was the last person to see Kyron, and she made the appointment. So, like, what the heck? And she was driving around for a while. I don't know. There's just a lot of why I think it would have been her just from that evidence. But I'm gonna tell you more about what she did after to make her look more guilty. Allegedly, she did this, right? It's just my opinion. It's still an ongoing investigation, so I'm not saying that she really did, but I'm gonna tell you why I think she should just be in jail. I think she did it. Allegedly. Later in June 2010, midst of the investigation of Kyron's disappearance, Kyron Horman was reportedly told by investigators that Terri had offered their landscaper Rodolfo Sanchez, quote, a lot of money, unquote, to kill him. Sanchez testified in a deposition. Terri approached him to help kill her husband in January 2010, 5 months before Kyron's disappearance. When Terry's attorney had asked Sanchez if that's what had happened, he had said no. I don't know why. After this, investigators convinced Sanchez to wear a wire to confront Terri, but they were unable to obtain any evidence or make an arrest. So she must have kept quiet or suspected something. On June 28th, Kyron filed for divorce and obtained a restraining order against Terri. The divorce was granted, and Terri was eventually granted supervised visitation with their daughter. Also, Terri failed 3 polygraph tests that were about Kyron's disappearance. The first one, she had said that the person who was asking the questions wasn't in front of her, and she's partially deaf or something like that, or is hard of hearing, and so because of that, she couldn't see the person in front of her mouthing the words, and that is the reason why she had failed the polygraph test. So she did another one, and then I can't remember what she said her excuse was, that she failed that polygraph test again. And then for the third one, she actually got angry, I think because she said that the way they were wording their questions was unfair or something like that, and she just walked out angry in the middle of her polygraph test and didn't even finish. In August 2010, it was announced that law enforcement were looking for an individual who was allegedly seen in Terry's truck during the day of the disappearance at Skyline Elementary School. I always wondered that, like, was there another person? Because there is witnesses of people seeing Kyron walking with his stepmom to the truck, but I guess that's not enough evidence. And then now there's people saying that they've seen somebody inside the truck with Terri, so who was it? Meanwhile, in July 2010, the grand jury had subpoenaed several friends of Terri, including Dee Dee Spitzer, who Terri and Kane were allegedly close to. Described that they host communication with Terri, providing Terri with support. According to law enforcement, Spitzer was extremely cooperative and allowed a search of her property and her car, as well as enduring 3 hours of questioning from detectives. So you might think, what does Spitzer have anything to do with this? Well, on the day of Kyron's disappearance, Spitzer abruptly had left her work of gardening for a homeowner at their residence at Hermantown Road around 11:30 a.m., which is around the time 11:39. Remember, that was very specific, very weird. 11:39 was around the time that Terri had stated that she went driving around to soothe her baby's earache. Remember? Anyway, she left it at around 11:30. And then arrived back to her job 90 minutes later, an hour and a half later, 90 minutes. That's a lot of time. Remember I told you that she had received an unknown call during this time? It was probably her friend. She also allegedly helped Terri buy an untraceable cell phone. In December 2010, it was reported by the Oregonian, I don't know how to say that. Yeah. That the grand jury had yet to provide compelling evidence, yielding a potential indictment. By November 29, 2010, the search efforts in Kyron's disappearance had cost an estimated $1.4 million. They spent $1.4 million looking for Kyron, haven't found him, and haven't arrested Terri. In May 2017, it was reported that there was a secret grand jury and that Kyron's case is still ongoing. On June 1st, 2012, Kyron's mother, Desiree Young, filed a civil lawsuit against Terri, claiming that she was responsible for the disappearance of Kyron. The lawsuit was an attempt to prove that Terri had kidnapped Kyron on the day of his disappearance. So they took it to court, and during Desiree's lawsuit against Terri refused to answer 142 questions, just pleading the fifth. Among these questions, ones were about Terri's whereabouts on the day of Kyron's disappearance. They also declined to identify a photo of Kyron and a photo of her ex-husband, Kane. So when they showed her photo, then she was just like, nope, I'm not gonna say if I do or do not know them, or if I have or have not met them. On July 30th, 2013, Terri had dropped the lawsuit. Her attorney had advised her to drop the lawsuit so that she did not interfere with the ongoing investigation of Kyron's disappearance, which does not make sense to me, but either way, like, this whole thing just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, anyways, that's the story of Kyron Horman and his disappearance. And like I was telling you guys, I had first seen it covered by Kendall Rae, and if you guys want more detailed stuff about it, I suggest that you guys look at her video because she really goes into detail about it. I just wanted to get like a short snippet of what happened and why it doesn't make sense, and it's just crazy. Like, I cannot wrap my head around it, and it just frustrates me that nobody has been arrested. And it frustrates me because I feel like a lot of cases go like that. I mean, if you guys haven't seen another video I covered of Janelle Matthews, she's a girl who went missing in my hometown, and they didn't find her body, I think, until 2019, and she disappeared back, I can't remember exactly when, but my uncles actually went to school with her, so it was that long ago. They were in middle school at that time, so however long ago that was, like in the 80s, I think. So she went missing in the 80s. They just found her body in 2019, and they barely made an arrest in this year, actually. Steve Pinky, I thought it was him, I knew it was him, and yeah, it was Steve Pinky. They finally made an arrest, but it just frustrates me that it takes that long when it's obvious that it's that person. Anyways, that's the story. If you guys haven't already, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share my video, don't be shy. Yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys next time. I already know what I'm gonna cover next time, and it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week.